So Tom Cruise still not a vampire?
Have you ever watched the ghost cams at the Willard Public Library?
I want my painting back.
The painting was a gift, Todd. I'm taking it with me.
Hey, welcome back to another Bryce is Right. I hope y'all have all had a great freaking weekend. Hopefully y'all are staying warm. We got what time it is. It's time to dive down deep into some of the creepiest and freakiest videos I could find in the deepest, darkest corners of TikTok. And nah, these are not your ordinary videos. They're gonna be blowing your mind, making your head spin, and having you question your reality. But of course, before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss out on any future content, and please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Other than that, let's go and dive right in, y'all. Let's get it.
I shall call him
Wait a minute.
Minnie.
Was that a fire-breathing dragon? Minnie? What is this place? That's pretty cool. Never seen that before. Trace hermanos.
Yeah, it is. It's the magic number.
They even got the ponchos on.
A 16-year-old just ran a 3-minute and 48-second mile race. Now, this is Sam Root, a 16-year-old track prodigy from New Zealand who ran this mile at the John Thompson Classic in Boston, which was actually his first ever indoor track race ever after traveling 50 hours just a couple days before the actual race. And with this time, Sam literally would have won 15 of the last 20 world championships. I mean, this is just absolutely insane for his age. His family does have a background in running, but even after this race, he feels like he could have run even faster, which being only 16 years old, there is a lot of time for growth and strength in the sport, so it's 100% possible.
Sub 350, can you believe it?
This is one of the next upcoming running prodigies.
50 hour travel, you know, my legs are feeling a bit heavy before this, so I think I can run even faster, but I was super stoked with that. I was coming into this race expecting to run sub 355. I wasn't even really expecting a PB, so yeah, when I crossed the line, saw 348, I was a bit surprised myself.
Second team All-American. Harvard trip.
Is that right?
That's amazing. I remember 4-minute miles were impossible. Back whenever I was in school. Hell no. Mm-mm. I didn't even know this was a thing. Have y'all seen this before? Yeah, some of my friends would really like this. I think my brother would like it too. It's pretty awesome. Cause he wasn't even hunting. He was just running with it.
Never been so scared in my life. They're burning everything here in Puerto Vallarta.
What's happening here?
They just burned that also right there.
They got bored with cooking regularly, so now they're crumping while cooking, or what? That's too much, y'all. Way too much. Got that Tina's. Nope, that's his tail. Man, I want one of those so bad. That's awesome. Dang, I'm gonna have to try that. That's too cool.
Look at this damn thing! Spotted on a deep sea underwater camera. That's baby Godzilla. That's baby Godzilla. And he ain't no happy baby Godzilla, I'll tell you right now. What the heck is going on in the world? Shabadoo Bushkis! Shabadoo!
Anyway.
What is happening in Mexico right now? Is that Mexico? I saw that there's
Everyone is starting to be
there.
terrified because Citra is almost done with the 10-foot-tall animatronic. I am not kidding. So for those of you that might have forgotten, a few months ago, there was a creator here on TikTok named Citra, and he was posting videos about how he was going to create a 10-foot-tall animatronic that was going to destroy the entire world. I don't think anyone really took him too seriously. You know, he was making a little bit of progress, but he just posted an update video, and this is what the 10-foot-tall animatronic is looking like now. It is nearly complete. He has truly made so much progress in the past few months. Like back when I remember he was doing this, it was only like the arms and legs he was working on. But now he completed the arms, legs, the full body, the head. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know how far away he is from being fully complete from this 10-foot-tall animatronic, but people are starting to get terrified. People are starting to get nervous because it's looking like he's almost done. And I guess we're really going to have to wait and see. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the entire world, of course. But I'm curious to know your thoughts about all this.
I was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
I'm not Tony. What's up, homie? I'm Tony.
Where is he building that? And why is there a wall around it?
I believe someone
So
just
strange.
found Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine? Do I know you? You know Ghislaine?
No, sorry.
No? Oh, I used to order Hello Pizza off for.
Oh, really?
She always delivered, yeah.
Oh,
Now I'll give her some credit. She did a good job at hiding her British accent. But you can't hide those chompers or that nose. Look at the dip in the nose, the flare in the nostrils, the damn teeth, the way they sit. How about that upper lip? Come on now. They'll call you a psycho for suggesting that this could be Ghislaine, but then they'll try to sell us this. Whatever this is, it's not her. Just notice how her left eye sits slightly lower than her right eye in both of these images. And this is a consistent feature in multiple images. Something fishy is definitely going on, but I'd love to know your opinion in the comments below.
That's odd. I don't know.
Imagine how much propaganda it took to convince us pooping 3 times a week is normal.
Only
This new
3?
study found a link between the
In 1
amount of
week?
times you poop and your potential risk for developing inflammatory illnesses like cancer,
Once a
cardiovascular
day.
disease,
Twice a
and
day.
even brain disorders. And the optimal number is not what you expect. This is because your poop is a direct reflection of your gut microbiome, which we know is connected to your brain, your immune cells, your hormone. When you're not having healthy bowel movements, it can be a big indicator that the wrong bacteria have taken over in your gut. These bacteria produce endotoxins, which trigger an inflammatory response throughout your entire body, even your brain. For context, participants who pooped 1 time per week showed an increase of about 50% in all-cause mortality. Participants who pooped 4 times per week but had soft bowel movements showed an increase of about 60% in cancer mortality. Poop used to be one of the most important health markers for looking at your digestive system, but as people got unhealthier, they stopped looking at the one thing that could be warning them. Based on this study, researchers found that the most optimal amount of poops you should be having per week to actually reduce your risk of inflammatory conditions is 10 times per week. Also, if you're a weirdo and you want to start tracking your bowel movements, you can now get complete gut reports like this on the Flush app.
You know, you can sell your poop. 6
The Big
figures.
Bang is so much weirder than you think. To understand this, imagine an infinitely large library where every book is just a random arrangement of letters. Simple words like no show up all the time. But as complexity grows, arrangements get far more rare. But because our library is infinite, no matter how rare it is, every single possible combination of letters has to show up. Now replace this library with whatever existed before the Big Bang. Assuming it was infinite in nature, our best bet is a set of quantum fields that are constantly and randomly fluctuating. In that chaos, a universe as ordered as ours can actually fluctuate into existence in about a 1 in 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 123 chance. That's a decimal with more zeros than there are atoms in the observable universe. It's absurd. Except if infinity is real, then all of this had to happen. Universes will form, stars will ignite, and conscious observers will wake up inside of them and wonder how their existence could be so unlikely. This actually makes sense, but there's a much bigger problem. There's roughly a much smaller 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 60 chance of not a universe coming into existence, but rather just one single brain with a lifetime of false memories that fluctuates into existence for a few seconds and thinks that it's you. This is a Boltzmann brain. Now, if reality does arise from quantum fluctuations, then statistically speaking, you are almost certainly one of them. Sleep well.
Sheesh. Chill.
This is supposed to be an experiment that proves that rockets can propel in a vacuum. Now, at first glance, it's kind of convincing. But why don't we actually pay attention to what's really going on? Look at how what is being propelled out of the syringe, the rocket fuel, it's being propelled out of the syringe, and the syringe does not move at all until it hits the medium, which is the wall itself. Now, here's the thing. If you're in the void of outer space, there is no container. There is no wall. So if you're in a rocket in outer space and you're pushing fuel out of the back of the rocket, no matter how much fuel and how quickly that fuel is dispensed out of the back of the rocket, if it does not have a medium to push off of, then it cannot push itself forward. And you can see this happening in this video. Pay attention. The syringe does not move until the air comes into contact with the wall, which is a medium, which means it is not pushing itself in a vacuum, it's pushing itself off of a medium. But this is what they do. They twist the truth. They put the truth right in front of your face and they twist it and they deceive you. But this video was made for entertainment purposes only.
How do you think a vacuum would exist, though, without a
the United Nations just officially declared that Earth has now entered a water bankruptcy, and they're saying that it might be impossible to reverse. So the United Nations just dropped a report basically out of nowhere, and the terminology that they're using alone is insane. They're now saying that Earth has officially entered what they're calling a water bankruptcy, and for many parts of the world, they say that the damage is already done. Okay. They're basically saying to think of water like it's a bank account, because rain and snowmelt is your paycheck, and then groundwater and glaciers is your savings account. They say that we have now been spending way more than nature is able to put back, and now we're draining savings that actually take thousands of years to refill. And here's where it gets insane, by the way, because they say that 70% of the world's major water supplies are all in decline. Half of all major lakes have already shrunk since the 90s, and 4 billion people already experience severe water scarcity every single year. Dude, this obviously isn't a warning about the future, because the UN is saying that we are already past the crisis, and for some of the systems there's no going back. They are basically coming out and telling us that Earth might be running out of water, and GTA 6 still isn't even out yet.
What? Use it on the field.
Well,
it's just moving around the moon. Oh my gosh, Isaiah, look. There's something. Holy crap, what is that?
I see that star every night.
I'm not even playing around.
But I'm pretty sure the planets aligned
That
last
is
night.
not normal. It's different colors.
Yeah, that's a star.
This is insane. I have never seen this before in my life.
Or is it Jupiter or Saturn? I don't know.
That is something, Zaya. What is that? Stop there. That is really weird.
They set this whole thing up.
Stephen Baldwin is pretty creepy. That's so wild.
Sounds like this weird arranged marriage situation.
Boy, looks faded.
Condom that changes color when it detects STDs. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis.
Green, you got chlamydia. Yellow, herpes. Purple, HPV. Blue, syphilis. The lubricant changes color when it attaches to a protein from the infection. This is a real concept developed by these 3 teens from the UK. And the real question is, what are you gonna do when it changes color?
Motherfuckers take one more step, I'm kicking this out the motherfucking window.
This is what alcohol looks like under a microscope. Vodka. Rum. Tequila. Rose wine.
It's weird.
Bourbon. Beer. Champagne. Whiskey. Gin.
Did he just say gin?
So Tom Cruise still not a vampire? Like, still. How is this possible? I don't even know, like, I don't even know if he might look younger here than he does here. But am I bugging?
What's weird is that kid is younger than me. And people are gonna start saying I'm a vampire. Maybe I am. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a werewolf. I'm hairy. What is happening here?
Got talent tú. Es que Dani. Es que what you.
Wow.
¿Qué?
So now we got pocket pool parkour.
Tú, iba bien.
I do a fake fancy get bar. Dad, what? God, Namer, you're doing your stupid little.
In your pockets.
1, 2, 3, 4 cameras.
It's cold this morning.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Damn.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cameras.
Got that trim on the yard though, looking flush. I don't know why you want that many cameras. Backups on backups. I got 2.
So this might have actually happened. Debunkers owe everyone an apology because a resurfaced Egyptian scroll from the British Museum had it right in front of our faces ever since it was put up in 1839. Yet another ancient document supporting the claim that biblical giants did in fact exist. This 3,300-year-old papyrus called Anastasia I has recently reignited interest from research groups who picked up on a certain detail that has gone largely unnoticed until now. So the scroll, believed to be the letter of a scribe, talks about encounters with a certain tribe called the Shosu people, who the Israelites were terrified of. Now, the part of the scroll in question translates to, the narrow defile is infested with Shosu, concealed beneath the bushes. Some of them are of 4 cubits or of 5 cubits from head to foot. Fierce of face, their heart is not mild, and they hearken not to coaxing. Now, a cubit was the standard unit of measure of the Egyptians, and 4 to 5 cubits, the supposed height of the Shosu people as mentioned in the scroll, measures up to 8.5 feet. 8'6". Historians all too predictably remain skeptical as they claim there is no physical proof or archaeological evidence that giants existed during this time. Okay, buddy, keep telling yourself that. You wouldn't want to rewrite your little textbook now, would you? Now, in all fairness, 8'6" is freakishly tall, but still in the realm of possibility of heights that humans are capable of reaching. With the tallest man in recorded history, Robert Wadlow, coming in at a staggering 8'11". But regular humans just aren't built to be this tall. And at heights like these, typically live lives riddled with health complications and have difficulty performing basic human functions. With Wadlow living his entire life wearing leg braces, suffered from hypertrophy, and passed away at the very young age of 22 in 1940. As is the case with pretty much every recorded human who grows to be this tall. Far from the fierce, angry, and violent warriors, this Egyptian scroll and pretty much every single civilization of our past speaks of these giants. Sounds to me like these menacing 8 to 9 plus foot behemoths were a lot different and far more common than the extremely rare outlier human who grows to these same heights. So why exactly do we keep denying they ever existed when literally every ancient record tells us they did?
Make it worth it right here. Wall first. Done. There it is. Yes!
This is the proof that Scotland is just not real. So I went on a run and look what I found.
I found it. It is right there. Do not worry, I'm in Scotland. People wanted to know where this building was, so I wanted to find it. From what people are telling me, this is a church. Oh my gosh, there's ducks! There's ducks! Oh my gosh, hello! I found it. It is right there. We're gonna go check it out. Wow. So I guess this specific place is called Dunfermline Alley and Palace. Oh my goodness.
Time out!
Wow. Okay, whew, now that we found that, let's go try some haggis.
Man, Jordan's so cool.
We're starting to see more and more of these wireless appliances where you'd have a space on your bench, you just place the appliance in there, and then you start using it. So it'll be the end of plugging things in a kitchen. And we already see the stovetop things. I don't know if you've seen them where you put the pan down and it just heats the pan up, but not the surface. Similar to that.
NASA just released this video of something in the solar system taken by the most powerful telescope in space. What you're looking at is the planet Uranus. Stop laughing. But because Uranus is the only planet in the solar system to rotate on its side, because an object the size of Earth probably knocked it over billions of years ago, we're actually looking at its North Pole, which is facing us right now. And you can see its rings. Saturn isn't the only one with rings. This is a time lapse of it rotating icy clumps, and scientists have mapped out, hear me out, the temperature and density of ions up to 5,000 kilometers above Uranus's clouds, which means you're seeing Uranus's upper atmosphere in 3D. They found out some cool things, like Uranus's upper atmosphere is cooling down, and it's surprisingly hot. It's 426 Kelvin. Why? Also, its magnetosphere is lopsided. Shocker, which is what's causing the auroras to travel across the planet in this really weird way. The clumps are the auroras. Northern lights, but you never know where they're gonna be. Moral of the story, one of the weirdest planets in the solar system got weirder.
I think we're about to see that with a lot of planets.
This small dog was seen dumping bags of rubbish on the side of the road in the San Giorgio district in Sicily, in Italy. Fly tipping is illegal in Italy, but it remains a common problem. Local police say they have footage of the pup littering on 2 consecutive days. They say the videos are evidence that leaves little room for doubt, that the dog had been trained to drop off bags so that its owner could avoid getting filmed discarding them. Ingenuity can never become an alibi for incivility. The municipality of Catania said on a post on its official Facebook page. Respect for urban etiquette and the environment is everyone's responsibility, it said. The post did not say whether any action had been taken.
Holy crap.
Cameras on that dog. Okay. Work. Bros, dude, you nailing it. Yes, sir. This is too good. Why is this the best thing we've seen in a while? And it's so simple.
We had two timelines. We had a choice. They said that there were
Way to go.
power scripting the Book of Revelations to bring about the end of the world. They want to do this.
I think it's a shadow government, and that's why they're building bunkers and all this, because they're trying to engineer the end of the world.
Yeah, that's what the beings told me. That they were trying to bring about the end of the world. And if we go that route, it would end up in Armageddon. And like the Bible says, Jesus comes back and saves the world, right? The other timeline they said was that the reset button didn't have to happen if we made the choice to seek the light and remove the darkness, and that they were going to help. And that's by waking us up.
And does that lead us into the 2026 event?
2026 into a time of awakening.
So,
peace, not war.
What was the prediction that the lady made?
She said, when the red star Regulus aligns in the gaze of the Sphinx, and she showed it to me, it looked like a little red ball. Now, Regulus is blue.
It's blue.
But she said it would appear red on the horizon just before dawn. When that happens, at that point, we'll mark a shift into a new knowledge and awakening of the people. I think it's just the beginning of a new era, a new knowledge, and maybe that's the revealing of this, the truth of consciousness.
And this will be the Sphinx gazing at Regulus.
Yep.
Do you know what constellation Regulus is in?
It's in Leo.
It's in Leo.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Why does the Space Force have
people get too bent out of shape
triangle,
over that stuff.
Right, with the Sphinx looking up at the star?
What's up with that cone head?
Hello, boss. I am Big Lumo Lumo.
Oh, man! That really was the best name for it.
It's the only name for it, really.
House size is shift to Euro, 38 square meter. Intelligent lock, water and lighting treating. Bedroom, wardrobe, AC, socket, window. Bathroom,
so cool.
shower room, toilet, underfloor heating, water heater, basin, open kitchen, which hold induction cooker, food table, living room. If you like, I am your partner.
I mean, that's like a motorhome, but no wheels? Pretty cool. I could live in one of those.
Oh, shit.
Going out back for the grandma. Might need it. Whoa. Come on, fool.
This right here, this is cave terminology 101. This is called a boulder.
Shut up, bitch!
And this below us is called pit.
I'm trying to look over the edge.
Plop her down there.
What a toss.
Ow! Oh.
I think I just found a new type of rich. Hot and cold outside.
Bougie.
At Doritos, you need to do this guy right. He made you a commercial in the multiverse. This dude is just trying to shoot his shot with Doritos and somehow created a Mandela effect. Yeah, something fishy is going on. I believe in the Mandela effect, but nah, we're not going to act like this didn't air. Here's a weird one. Somebody left me this comment where they took an image from my commercial and they asked ChatGPT where it's from. It says, this image is a popular Doritos commercial that aired during the Super Bowl. And then it goes on to explain it all. But this is insane. But also what's weird is like people are getting all sorts of different results. This is why it's such a weird, bizarre thing. Like I reverse image searched it on Google earlier tonight and nothing came up. It was a bunch of other Dorito stuff. Not even my original upload, which is sitting there on YouTube. It couldn't find it. And then I'm scrolling. It doesn't even have the image of my YouTube video, which is there. So another weird thing about this is like, with Mandela effects, for those who don't know what Mandela effects are, It's like where everybody, or like where a big portion of people remember something that just doesn't exist. But this is weird because my commercial does exist. It's sitting right there on YouTube. It's been there for 12 years. That's been my reality this whole time. Doritos need to pay up or everybody's switching to great value nacho chips. Actually, I really like the comments of people who are like, hey, I have to tell you, I actually used to hate that commercial. Like, but I remember it. I can't stop thinking about this either. I remember hating this commercial because they played it so much and I always hated Doritos. Not only do I remember the commercial, but I remember your video being the winner because I was like, that wasn't even that good. Forgive me. I was a teenage girl at the time. Love it now. Here's another weird thing, by the way. Whenever I Googled Doritos Pigs Fly commercial, it's a bunch of the pigs fly, but it doesn't even have mine. It does have my TikTok from 3 days ago. And what's even weirder is the title says classic Doritos commercial that stands the test of time, but that's not my title. And I didn't type that anywhere in the post. So I don't know if like Google's AI just like comes up with its own thing based on what people are commenting, but I don't, that's weird. I'm assuming all those other titles are the official titles, but that is not my title for my TikTok video. Here's another person that sent me a screenshot where they asked AI by uploading an image from my commercial, and it says, the commercial you're looking for is titled When Pigs Fly. It was the winning entry for the 2015 Doritos Crash the Super Bowl contest. That's not true. That's the other one. But why is it recognizing that image, analyzing it, and then saying it's the other one?
I feel like
at Doritos, the silence is loud. Where's your 1 million? Get paid at Doritos. Pay this guy. Please do the right thing. We will love you for fixing this. There's a huge opportunity here for Doritos to show heart and leadership. Bringing the original creator into the story would say more about their brand than any commercial ever could at Doritos. Thousands of people have tagged Doritos and Doritos has been silent. I want Doritos to make this right, to let me know what's going on, even if it results in us collaborating in some way or whatever, but the ball is in their court right now.
Indeed, we are putting the ball in their court. So I actually reached out to this dude and said, hey, so he was saying that, you know, of course, a lot of people don't believe it. People were saying that they think it's a ploy by Doritos to bring this back up just to make Doritos popular again. You know, something strange is going on here and we're going to get to the bottom of it. And hopefully Doritos will intervene somehow. That would be so cool. But let us know. We talked about it the other night in the live, though. That's what I was letting him know. And so I thought he caught wind of that, but he didn't. He missed it. So we're doing it again. So let us know if y'all have any information about it or what y'all feel. He might be in the chat this time. Let him know. I'm sorry, it's early, y'all. Whispering. Yeah, so they walked up like right in the nick of time.
So in 1979, Princeton University, it was called the Pear Lab. They ran this trial and they wanted normal people, everyday people, to do an experiment. And this experiment was to sit in front of what's called a random event generator. And I want you to imagine that it's a coin flipper, essentially. And it's programmed 50-50 to never deviate from 50-50, especially over a long period of trials. Mm-hmm. So if you did like 10 trials, you might get 6 heads and 4 tails. Yeah. But over millions, it would never deviate beyond that. It can't statistically do that. But in this case, it was ones and zeros, heads and tails, ones and zeros. And they asked people what to do one thing, to sit in front of the machine and using their mind, hold the intention of 1. So their job was to will into existence or manifest into existence that the machine spat out more ones than zeros. Okay? Very simple. Mm-hmm. Now, they ran it for 12 years, 2.5 million trials, and they proved scientifically that it deviated away from chance, meaning that they proved scientifically that the human mind was able to influence a machine. Mm-hmm. Now, when they interviewed people, because it ran both ways, sometimes people got the ones and it deviated away. Other times it deviated to 0, even though they weren't being told to manifest zeros. They were being told to manifest ones. So they first sat down with the people that were really good at getting ones. What did you do? They said. Well,
tell us your secret.
Yeah, what was your secret? How did you do it? Yeah. Why were you so good? And they said, I just sort of believed it. You know, I enjoyed what I was doing. I believed that the mind could influence a machine. I sort of relaxed into it. I got into a bit of a meditative state and yeah, I enjoyed the process. Great. And then they interviewed the people who were trying to get ones but got zeros.
Oh, they're cynics.
They got the opposite. Yeah.
Like negatively, like.
Or trying. It's like the wanting,
trying,
like you were saying. Yeah.
Wanting, not, but fundamentally not really believing in themselves.
Yeah.
So they were like holding wands but going, this isn't going to work for me.
Yeah.
So do you know what manifested? The zero. Because the dominant reflection or observation was the belief, was the zero.
That's heavy.
Have you ever watched the ghost cams at the Willard Public Library?
so hard.
Supposedly the building is so haunted that they've set ghost cameras up to catch paranormal activity, and you can find it all streaming live on their website. This is something that has just recently been brought to my attention by the creator that I've tagged in my description, so of course, when I heard about this, I had to go see it for myself. And it's true, they actually have ghost cams on at all times. On their website, they also give you a history of the known apparition that has been reported there the most, and they call her the Gray Lady. They've even had police summoned there because of a security alarm that was triggered. And according to these officers, one of them went inside to investigate and the other watched from the parking lot. Well, the officer that was in the parking lot said that he saw the ghost of a woman with a shadowy figure beside her through the window of the building. So when his colleague emerged, he asked if he had seen them, but they found no trace of anyone inside. Here's another story from the library assistant that's posted on their website. It says, shortly after being hired, a library assistant bravely addressed the Gray Lady while walking alone on the adult services floor. She politely asked not to be frightened and suggested the ghost communicate in gentler ways. Moments later, the elevator doors opened unexpectedly, the call light illuminated despite no one being inside. The assistant approached cautiously, finding the elevator empty. She believed this encounter was the Gray Lady's response, welcoming her to the staff. I guess when the bathrooms were remodeled, the toilets started flushing on their own, so they had to call plumbers in, but there was no cause found. There was also a new projector that was installed that would move up and down by itself, so they called technicians in to investigate, but they couldn't figure it out either. They have this picture of the library founder's daughter hanging above the copier machine, and some people think that she could be the Gray Lady.
She doesn't even go here.
Man, sometimes those images will make my
Sam
eyes
Altman
water.
just predicted what humans will do when nobody
they're
needs to
real.
work. At the recent AI Impact Summit, one of the most important AI events of the year, Sam Altman just delivered one of the most powerful speeches we've heard on AI. So if you've ever wondered what the point of your career is in the age of AI, this speech might be the most important thing you hear all year. So Sam Altman made a prediction that sort of sounds like science fiction. He said that the people 500 years from now will look at us like impossibly rich people playing games, trying to find ways to pass their time. Think about that for a second. The same way someone from the 1500s would look at us today and see unimaginable abundance. Electricity, healthcare, smartphones, internet. Someone from the year 2500 will look at us and wonder why we were grinding 60-hour weeks just to be able to afford rent, and they will consider that primitive. Every generation inherits technology from the last and adds their own layer to it. Think of the printing press, and then electricity, and then the internet, and then smartphones. Each layer compounded on the one before. AI is the next layer. The only difference between AI and the last layer is that AI doesn't just augment capability, but completely replaces it. Let me explain. In every previous wave of technological innovation, humans have always ended up the most intelligent species. So obviously, we were smarter than a printing press. We were smarter than electricity, and we were smarter than the internet. But with AI is smarter than us. And Sam Altman was pretty blunt about what that meant. He said it will be very hard to outwork a GPU. So Sam Altman believes that we will need to find new things to do. This has always been true every time, but this time he said something critical. Society needs time to learn how to integrate each new level of AI to understand it and decide how to move forward. So our next destination is a world of abundance, where work might completely be optional. And the point he makes, and this is the most important point of it all, is whether or not we build a bridge carefully enough that people can make it across.
It's crucial.
Scientists just had a 20-minute conversation with a whale using AI, and the whale actually just talked back. Dude, this is obviously about to sound fake right now, but this is completely real. So a team of researchers from UC Davis and the SETI Institute, which by the way is the same exact people who search for alien life, just dropped an underwater speaker off of the coast of Alaska. They played a recorded humpback whale contact call into the ocean, and a whale that they named Twain swam up to their boat and started responding. They're saying that for 20 straight minutes, Twain circled the boat and matched every single call that they played, timing her responses to the exact intervals between each signal. They say that she wasn't just making noises to respond back, she was actually matching the rhythm of the conversation. The lead researcher on this entire thing right now just said that this is the first official exchange between humans and humpback whales in the humpback's own language. Okay. And by the way, the reason why SETI is involved right now is because they're using whale communication to build intelligence filters, which is basically going to be training AI to recognize intelligent conversations so that if we ever pick up a signal from space, we'll know if something is actually trying to talk to us. We literally just talked to a whale.
I mean, I talk to birds. So,
Hold up, Meta just filed an AI patent that can bring dead people back to life, which was actually leaked on 4chan over 3 years ago, and these insider details are far worse than what we could have ever imagined. In December 2025, Meta, like Facebook and Instagram, patented an AI that can keep a user's account active and running even after they pass away, which includes messaging, posting, and even video calling, replicating their past online behavior by scraping their user data with AI. So you can pretend a family member or friend that passed away is still alive by interacting with them online, and they will talk and behave exactly like they used to. They're literally just copying Black Mirror 1-to-1 at this point, but there's a lot that they're not telling us about this, as this post from an infamous online forum popular with whistleblowers and leakers, and all too commonly being dismissed as filled with unverifiable claims, called it back in 2023, down to the very last detail and then some. This schizo post turned out to be real, and this is what it says. I'm a Meta insider working on Project Lazarus. We're building an AI that can take over a deceased person's social media accounts and continue making relevant posts as if that person is still alive. This includes age-progressed photos, interacting with other people's content, and everything else needed so that person continues on in the digital realm after physical death. What in the is this? We were originally told this would be a service offered to people struggling with the loss of loved ones and people who had missing children. Seemed like a decent idea. Things are getting weird now, and I'm having second thoughts about what this actually is going to be used for. The AI is extremely capable of impersonating people. It doesn't take as much initial input as one might think to train the AI how a certain person interacts with the digital world. It's very convincing. An entire island of people could go missing, and with little to no downtime, the AI could take over all their social media and the world wouldn't have a clue that life wasn't just continuing as usual. A lot of the project is becoming more compartmentalized. Things have taken a dark turn, it feels like. They've forbidden communication between people working on different things. Something isn't right, and I don't know what I should do. Bro, the things they're doing with AI just blows my mind every day, and not really in a good way. Also makes me wonder what other disturbing leaks from this site may have been real this entire time. Now, Meta was just granted this patent in December 2025, with many quick to point out that it was initially filed in June 2023, the same year this was posted. But this insider leak is dated to February 2023, a whole 4 months before it was filed and became public knowledge. So clearly, someone knew what was going on inside of Meta, and if everything else they said is true, that's pretty concerning. Like, how would you feel if you found out that I've been deceased for the past 3 years, and everything I've ever posted online, including this video, has been AI all along? Yeah, that's the level we're at now. Although the patent has been granted, Meta has stated it was just filed to protect potential ideas and has no plans to move forward with this feature yet.
She is making me think of Severance. You know, like
a tanker carrying liquefied petroleum gas overturned on the 19th of February of 2026 in the northern commune of Renca, Santiago, Chile, along a major highway. Somehow the driver lost control, overturned, and crashed, likely after hitting some barriers or another vehicle, and then this caused a rupture in the tank, which released a large quantity of it all across the entire highway, forming a massive vapor cloud that spread across the road. The cloud eventually quickly ignited, resulting in a massive, powerful vapor cloud explosion storm, which produced a huge fireball, intense flames, and thick smoke that engulfed the entire area. Now, according to authorities, including a local police chief and reports from Reuters and other sources, 4 people ended up losing their lives, including the driver of the truck. 17 other people were injured, with some in serious critical condition, many suffering severe burns, and several requiring hospitalization. The explosion ended up damaging at least 50 vehicles that was earlier mentioned in reports, and firefighters ended up having to work for hours to control the blaze. Now, the prosecutor in the local area is investigating the cause of the crash, with initial hypotheses pointing to the driver losing control, possibly due to excess speed, which led to the crash.
His shirt made me think of Star Fox, but man, that guy on the bike.
People that do that don't know they do it.
Correct. So I say to you, like, Steven, what's your favorite restaurant?
Mr. Chow's.
Oh, I've been to Mr. Chow's. Last time I went to Mr. Chow's, I went with a whole bunch of friends, and I had a friend
People
who was
do that
really
all the time.
Yes. So I've asked the question. You've shared something with me that is such a gift, and instead of saying, "Oh, who did you go with?" or "What did you order?" I bring the focus of the conversation right back to myself. Even one follow-up question might be enough. And so if you use this mindset of like, ask the next question before you pull it back to yourself. Oh, who did you go to Mr. Chow's with? And I let you answer. Then I say, oh, I've been there too. Our brains are incredibly wired to be egocentric. And it's such an enemy of good conversation because it constantly tugs you away from being interested in the other person first.
That's chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. Looks like a Reese's, you know?
I got huge. Look at this.
This is chocolate milk. Looks like pudding.
GB brand chocolate milk, man. Still in date too. That's so weird. What is that? That tabernacle. The deer tracks, the rabbit tracks. And then these weird backwards feet. Look how little they are. What? I want to say the title of this video was saying that Skinwalkers, I can't remember exactly what it just had to do with Skinwalkers. Speaking of that, did y'all hear about Chad Ollinger from Blind Far Hog Ranch? I had no idea about any of this until yesterday. That I don't even know why he went to jail, but he supposedly ended somebody's life in jail. And then, I don't know. I thought I had become friends with Dwayne previously. I wanted to ask him about it, but I couldn't find it. I don't think he's on social media anymore. Which I would have withdrawn myself as well. But it's just sad to see and hear. You know, I really like that family. They're really cool. I don't know, something else is going on. It bugs me. So yeah. Let's see, Chad. And he's got that long of a spread with that shorter feet. I mean, like small feet, you know? Maybe it just looks bigger. Maybe they're barefoot shoes? Maybe it's that golfer that wears the super short shorts.
That little dude is in your microwave heating up all your food. It does this by creating a really pretty pattern with electricity. And that is one really weird thing to be on the window of a cathedral. What this is a cavity resonator called a magnetron. It uses an electromagnetic field to swirl electrons into microwave frequencies. If you live in Russia, you can put it on a stick with it. Don't do that. Microwaves can damage your DNA, and they can also light up LEDs if they get too close to the magnetron. If you put a magnet on a motor and one on a ping pong ball, you can make a speaker do the same thing. Both of these are doing what our cathedral homies would call alchemy. They're taking a wave and making it another form of wave. But the speaker can show you the pattern. The pattern in the magnetron can be recreated using a speaker with water. That is called Cymatics, and this one's from my friend Cadboy. So what does this actually tell us? Well, if you follow me, then you'll know that the ancients were very well aware of this. They put it on literally everything. Cathedrals are no different. This one happens to be St. Vitus Cathedral in Prague. Above the pipe organ's glass pipes, you're going to see something that should look familiar at this point. That is the rose window in the same pattern that you just saw in the cymatic. Yes, the cathedral's ambulatory shares the same geometry as
we saw
the
earlier.
magnetron. And Tanya Harris did this cool experiment where she recorded silent cathedrals. Now, if you amplify the silence, it will create the same geometry as the rose window. That was page 136 and 137 of Cryptex. If this video got you going, it would benefit you greatly to check that out. This is Base Forge, and I make the content that they won't because I love you more than they ever will.
Maybe. Very interesting, though. I love these videos. Because you're always like, oh, who's filming it? I'm like, these people, thank you. Beautiful.
Update on Carl Grillmeyer, the Caltech astrophysicist that was murdered just hours after President Trump told the government to release the alien files. Turns out that he also went to Caltech for graduate school, the same place that Bob Lazar said that he went to graduate school. And what do you know? They're the same age. They're both 67, so they would have gone to school together. It's also important to note that NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory is at Caltech. And don't forget, in 1989, Bob Lazar claimed that he worked at Area 51, where he was using an unknown element, element 115, to fuel jet propulsion. They called him crazy because there was no such thing as element 115, of course, until 15 years later when it was discovered in 2004. I just have to wonder if these two were friends. And what could Carl have possibly known? And why was he murdered? I'd love to ask him, but as Bill Gates would say,
well, he's dead. So, in general, you always have to be careful.
So there's that. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Down below.
Were you trying to get on? What do you got in there? It's a violin?
Yeah.
Wait, you got a suit under the...
Yeah, we got to be in tuxes for this gig later.
You're playing this tonight?
Yeah.
Dude, wait, I'm excited. You have a jack you can put this into?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hell yeah. What should we make? What do you think?
I'm kind of like 12/8.
The time signature is 12/8? Can you count it for me? What's it sound like? Okay, I'll do something like that.
Right.
That violin always gets me. Oof, I'm not liking more than the piano.
Oh, that's good.
Whenever I see your face, everything else it just gets erased. And although you make my heart race, everything else slows down. Whenever I see your face, everything else it just gets erased. And
I just love that. I want to be in New York to see that. Have a good day. Hey. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another Bryce is Right. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. And I hope y'all are making it through this cooler weather. I mean, we got like maybe another month and we'll be through it. Maybe 2. If we can get this weather under control. I mean, this is like, I don't know. We'll see. So I'm super excited though. Can't wait. Hopefully we'll be able to, I think in like 2 weeks, we'll be able to see for sure if I'm going to be able to film the podcast. I'm going to do another April Fool's joke episode of creating a podcast, doing 1 episode a year. So it'll be fun to see Carlos come in and do this. Hopefully we can make it all happen. So just be on the lookout for that. Y'all know what to do. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't seen us on any future content. And please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Other than that, we will see y'all next time. All right, y'all. Peace.